Hi, I'm Debra Hamilton, and I started the law firm Hamilton Law and Mediation. I am simply an attorney who assists people in animal law conflicts, be it in special education, be it criminal, be it contract law, be it landlord-tenant, be it trust and estates, you name it, wherever an animal is involved. I'm going to assist you with that conflict without having to go to litigation. You can always go to litigation. You can leave my office and say, listen, that resolution doesn't work for me. And then you can go find an attorney who will help you litigate that issue. But if you stay in my office, we will sit and work with you and the person with whom you're in conflict and try to find a party-based resolution to the conflict so that you can go forward and have some sort of a relationship in the future. The benefit of trying to do alternative dispute resolution versus litigation is that when you leave the room, everyone has some way of shaking hands and walking out the door because it's a win-win. In litigation, it's a win-lose. And so someone always loses, and then there is no relationship going forward. I own dogs and I own horses. I show dogs, and the bulk of my practice while I was home with my children was helping my colleagues in the dog show world work out conflicts between them. Everyone wanted to litigate. I also represented people who were referred to me by people who knew me as a litigator to try to litigate animal conflicts with rescues, with landlord-tenants, with neighbors. So I decided that instead of doing litigation, I'd really like to try to help these people resolve their conflicts in less time, usually, and less expensively, usually, and so they can find their own people-oriented resolution as opposed to a court-ordered resolution that may or may not meet their needs, even if they win. I really prefer to work outside the courtroom. It's very important to me that my clients realize I won't go in the courtroom with them. I'm there to help and support them, be understood, to speak what is their issue, to listen to what the issue of the opposing party is, and to try to find an area after everyone understands the issues, find an area on which they agree, which always happens, and then move toward resolution in a fraction of the time for a fraction of the cost, and with a resolution that's more likely to be followed by the people. Well, when I graduated from law school many years ago, I knew I didn't want to work for a big law firm, so I went into work for government. I was an assistant district attorney in Westchester County, I was an assistant inspector general at the MTA, and I was an advocate for police officers with the New York City Police Department. Then I took a few years off, raised my kids, and came back in 2009 to start my practice, Hamilton Law and Mediation, and decided that after being a litigator for 13 years, I am a kinder and gentler person and wanted to work for myself and create this niche practice where I help people in conflict with their animals to resolve that conflict without having to go to litigation. I think that it's very important to think big, to think about the large picture. Who is the most out there person you can help and strive to get there? Because if you think locally, you stay local. It's not that I'm not going to help everyone in my neighborhood, in my town, in my state. I am going to help everyone. However, I really want to help people worldwide with animal conflicts because animal conflicts are probably the most emotional conflicts to have, second maybe to divorce. But even in divorce you have animal conflicts. So I believe that having an alternative dispute resolution program in place across the world for any animal law disputes is something that is ready to come. Animal law is getting a legitimacy at this point, and so it just seems that it's a natural offshoot of litigation, trying to find something that is strictly for resolution instead of for negotiation before trial. It's very different to negotiate before trial because you always have that ace in your back pocket if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm going to take you to trial. In alternative dispute resolution, that ace in your pocket should never be there. You should always know that you are both working toward resolution. You're both working toward a solution that meets everybody at least halfway, maybe all the way. Maybe you'll get everything you want because the other person never knew what it is you really wanted. So it gives you that opportunity. I absolutely feel that if you feel a passion for something, the time doesn't matter, the amount of work you have to do, where you have to go, who you have to speak with doesn't matter, and the naysayers won't matter either because you are so passionate. I am so passionate about what I do that the time and the effort is all worthwhile because everywhere I go, it's the kind of thing that will be respected. I'm creating a niche in the law for people to find resolution, and so I don't feel as if there's anything that's too much for me to do, so I can pass on to new entrepreneurs: have a passion and have patience. It'll happen. If you stay the course and don't listen to the naysayers, I mean, listen to them because they may have something good for you to do that would make things better. However, stay the course, have patience, and it'll come to you. It or something like it will come to you, and you will be so happy going to work every day like I am. Well, Ladies Who Launch came into my practice about 6 months ago. I had been attending another event and met Kathy McShane, who is phenomenal. She's cut to the bone, very clear, keeps you on track, which as an entrepreneur you need somebody who's going to hear what you're saying, give you encouragement, or tell you, how could you rephrase that? How could you rethink that? How could that work in a different way? She does for me in my entrepreneurial life what I do for mediation. Have people say what they feel, say what they mean, and then could you rethink that? How could that work differently? It's been phenomenal. I've also used Ladies Who Launch for my mastermind, and I have to tell you, the two women that I work with in my mastermind of 4, there's Kathy and 2 other women, it's a match made in heaven. We have nothing in common. However, we are so in sync with each other that it makes you feel like you really are able to get a feel for your client base, both for them and for me, by having them in the room with you and moving forward. People who should contact me are anyone who is currently in conflict with their animal, be it with their veterinarian, be it with their neighbors, be it with the town, be anyone. And if the person who you're in conflict with wants to litigate, say, hey, listen, I get it. However, can we visit this woman at Hamilton Law and Mediation who may be able to have us resolve our conflict without having to go to litigation, which will take less time and less money? Are you willing to give it a shot? We can always litigate. You never lose your opportunity to litigate, but you always should try to mediate or collaborate before you litigate.